All right, so for the rest of this, we're going to be working on rendering a piece from grayscale to color, doing more of a like half painterly style. Mostly it's just gonna be like a soft rendering or using a textured brush. That's why I gave you guys, I uploaded that brush pack called, I think it's just called Entitled Brush Pack or Untitled Brushes. Yeah, Untitled Brushes. And from there, you can like play around with it. There's like a ton of brushes in there. So if you want to use all of them or any of them, feel free. Go ahead, try them out. If you do, awesome. If you don't, whatever, doesn't really matter. But it's like up to you if you'd like to. Again, there's still two hands that are raised. You guys want to put those down? Feel free. And now only one. All right, now John put his hand up. All right. All right, so yeah. Because like working with the grayscale, I don't want you guys have to flatten another page unnecessarily right now. So that's why I had you open a page that you already worked on. The flats are definitely going to come in handy. So I will say on top of this layer, your line art layer, sorry, your flatted layer. About to flat another page, I'm going to cry. Get ready for tears. I'm just kidding. Well, you want today. On top of your layer, choose, literally any gray swatch at all, and just fill it. Oh, I should be going on there. Whoops. All right, mine is clipped to my character, but not my background. I'll just like throw the background, take the saturation away. And I'm going to set it to saturation. My gray layer on top of my flats, I'm going to set it to saturation. So now it looks like it is just in grayscale. All right, roll with me. I imagine you are, because that was really nothing.
Which page should we be doing this at?
Sorry?
In which page should we be doing this at?
Whatever page you want to work on, honestly. You've flatted a couple pages already. So, yeah. The only reason I'm even using this as an example is because I just happen to have it open. But yeah, so for today, I'd say if you guys have like a really complicated panel on your page, I would definitely suggest, try to use your own judgment in terms of like how much rendering you want to do it in. I know you guys all have very different styles, except for Roland. I don't know what your art looks like at all because I've never seen it. So like the level of rendering that you guys feel like your work would look good with is going to be different. So that's, that's on you. But again, you guys are using your best judgment with this. And the reason I'm doing this after the the cell shading week is because we're going to approach this very much like we did with the cell shading. I have this gray already selected, and I'm going to use my other swatch and grab a slightly darker one. Again, I don't want the range between these to be super big, because at this point you're going to be working mostly on just like your basic shadowing. So on top of the layer that has the gray saturation, I'm going to add a new layer. Again, I'm going to clip that to my flats. I'm going to set it to multiply. And you're going to be approaching this with like a multiply layer and an overlay layer, very simply like we would have with the clipping, with the cell shading that we did before. Again, if you want to use a textured brush found in that pack, go ahead. It's up to you. Have a good time. But be aware that you're trying to work mostly in like you're building it up. Set my brush up, hard light. Like you're gonna be like you want to like build up the tones as you're going. Now, if you want to smooth it out as much as you like. But again, if you don't want to use a textured brush, I would say out of the regular ones that they have in Photoshop, this hard around pressure, the one that I was talking about on that one manga cover, it is personally my go-to if I'm trying to emulate this look. I've never done it in a comic. I've mostly done it for pictures from my fiance. And in it, yeah, so multiply layer. And you're just gonna slowly, like, you're gonna brush it in. I like to do it. I go like big strokes first. Like I'll just kind of quickly brush in my shadow layer. Like cool, under his arms, shadow. Like this part of his cape, sure, shadow. Under his hood, shadow. Under his neck, shadow. Shadow, shadow, shadow. And then from there, I'll make my brush a lot smaller. I'll use my eraser tool set to the same brush of a similar size, and I'll slowly play it back and forth and like build it up. You can have your brush at 100% or 50%. If you have it at 50%, it'll help you slowly build it up. Like if you want to have your if you want your brush strokes to be really like directional, it's great for that. Like I really like this brush just because it's like very simple across the board. And wait, oh sorry, Taylor, you raise your hand.
I got lost back at creating the clipping mask and filling it with gray.
Oh, all right, cool. Well, Taylor, under no more.
And what do you do after that?
Okay, so you have your clipping mask that you're clipping your layer, the clipping mask set to your flats.
Yes.
And then you have it set to saturation for gray, and any gray color.
Yes.
You're good with that? Okay, so with your brush set to normal, I'm grabbing the hard round pressure. I don't know what it's called, but this brush, it makes lines like this, where it's very solid shape, but the end tapers off just a little bit. That's the brush I'm using. Again, I've added a brush pack. You guys can try with any of the brushes you like, do your thing. But so I'm grabbing a lighter gray and a gray that's not too dark. And I am slowly building my tones on a layer above set to multiply.
Okay.
Again, I always work shadow first because it helps set my base. And yeah, I'm making big brush strokes for the shadows and then going in to slowly refine them. I do this mostly because I find that often than not, with younger illustrators, and a lot of times even do with older illustrators, people are really hesitant to add a lot of black or a lot of shadow. For illustration, more it's a lot of black, than for coloring, it's more a lot of shadow. And you can tell that someone's hesitant, and it doesn't, maybe it doesn't work quite as well. It just goes on as much as they should because people normally don't want to, risk it. So I'm just saying I like to add the big brush strokes because you get that risk out of the way. You probably add even too much, but then you go in and you refine what you have and by slowly taking and adding away. So for me, I like to put it in the big strokes, and then I slowly work it back. So yeah, you can see even on his tunic here, I added the big shadow, and then I'm slowly working in the shapes that I think make a lot more sense. Taking some of the shadow away, adding some of it back. Mostly is making it look like it makes sense. And I'm not being super careful with it because when you're refining it, you don't have to be super careful the first time. You just go in and you will slowly edit it. Okay? Cool. Yeah, so with this, I'm just going to slowly go back and forth. I'm not trying to add, too much first. That's why I'm telling you guys start off with, a layer for shadow. And then after that, when you feel, confident in what you have, add a layer, like with the other stuff, set it to overlay. And honestly, I'm going to use the same gray. And then just work in the other direction. You can work to build it up in the other way. So you have like, a good tonal range. Yeah, so because a figure like this will take most of your pages, which I've seen, just take a little while. This is what we're going to be doing for the rest of class and what you guys are going to need for next week. This is going to be one of the ones where I'm going to make an assignment on the Google Classroom. So you guys will turn them in there. All right? All right.